Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for Sagittarius. Welcome. Since this is a general reading, I'm tuning into very general energies and not tuning into one person's specific energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, Sagittarius. In the past, wow, okay. In the past, you were in the energy of awareness. This is the High Priestess. Clairvoyance, very clairvoyant. Whoever's tuning in, I get the feeling that some of you are energy workers, some of you are tarot readers, psychic, Reiki. Some of you, there's some witchy friends. You would describe your energy in a more witchy vibe or gypsy type of energy. All of you, welcome. Glad you're here. So, in the past, okay. In the past, there's this someone lacked confidence. Someone was in their ego. Ooh. Okay. All right. Someone was in their ego, and it feels like they were afraid to leave a situation because it would create financial poverty. Like staying in a connection because of financial reasons. At least that feels like the overall perspective. It looks like I get this feeling like I of wanting to stay in a connection because there's a certain way of showing up, of having a certain amount of finances, a certain amount of wealth, of being in a connection because that's what people do. There's some staying in a connection, even though it feels like who they're connected with is someone who's very insecure and lacks confidence, and someone who's very jealous. It feels like this person who's insecure and jealous clings on to this relationship. Ooh. Okay, so I'm getting that whoever it is who has this ego and is staying in a relationship because of appearances, and that's what you have to do. That's what's expected of them. Being in the ego, perception is more important. I get the feeling that this person, instead of leaving the connection, was trying to find ways to be in third-party situations. Like, I want to have this spirited, I want freedom. I want to be a free spirit. I want excitement. But I have to stay in this connection with someone who's insecure and lacks confidence. Where's this? intuitive energy coming in. Oh, oh, um, something happened in the past. There was some event, there was something that happened that, oh, I don't know who you are in this. I feel like each of us might be a different person in this. Some of us might be the jealous, insecure person they're connected with. Some of you out there might be the person who's in their ego, who's staying in a connection, but looking to explore other options while staying in a connection. And some of you are this intuitive high priestess energy. So it feels like you might be one of these three people in this. I get the feeling that this person in their ego, wanting to explore and create some freedom and some excitement, that you intuited this, that you saw this. It feels like they might have even connected with you and on some level tried to create like, hey, third party, yeah. Feels like it gave you a very different insight into this connection, or you might be the person with the ego wanting to stay in a connection with someone who's insecure, but wanting to step out and create some new connections. And you tried to connect with someone who's highly intuitive. Wow. Or you might be the insecure, jealous person who on some level knows that the partner that you're with is not happy in the connection. And that's part of why you're jealous and insecure, is because you know that this, it feels like an anxious attachment style, insecure and anxious. And the person with the ego has an avoidance. They're like a runner, and it's created a chasing. Wow. It's like a soap opera. There's a lot of complex emotions going on. Whew. All right, Sagittarius, in present time, you're in the energy of throat chakra. So throat chakra is here. It's the energetic center for communication. All right, something in the present energy for Sagittarius that deals with communication. Woo! The communication is lies. Lies, lies. Someone who's good at lying. Someone who's lost their emotional control. Someone who uses lies to manipulate, and they use their power to and lies to dominate. Ooh, interesting. All right. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I'm still getting the three separate energies. I'm getting that the ego, the person with the ego in the past, they're still in this energy of manipulation and lies. It does not feel that their energy has shifted much from this past situation. The High Priestess energy, it feels like whatever happened was a part of their waking up, of seeing something. There was something very important about this interaction. It wasn't just having someone invite them into a third party situation. There's something much bigger at play here. It feels like it woke this High Priestess up. And in current energy, the High Priestess is very hopeful and calm and has such good energy. They've been rejuvenated. It feels like in the past, they might have said yes to this, or might have been tempted to say yes to this. There was something very tempting about this offer. However, now they've leveled up. I get the feeling that this High Priestess is now someone who has very clear boundaries, who communicates truth and communicates directly, very clear-minded. I feel like at one point, the High Priestess, there was some type of depletion going on in this High Priestess energy that where they might have been tempted by this ego, just because of a lack of, just a depletion in their personal energy. Now it feels like they've turned their back on this person, the possibility. They see it for what it is, that they've learned how to fill their own cup and heal. And there's nothing good that comes out of this, this person with the ego. They need to heal. Now, this is kind of the dark horse surprise of this reading that I'm getting, is this jealous and insecure person that was in the relationship with the ego person. They're having an awakening, a rebirth. They have a calling to something new. They might be seeing the situation clearly. There's something about, they were obsessed with this connection. It's creating such an obsession with trying to make it work, and pouring their energy in the past, and they're seeing things very differently now. They're having an opportunity from the universe, is saying, hey, it's time to wake up. This isn't you. You've been behaving in a way that is old you. New you. There's a reckoning, an awakening, a possibility for that. And I get the feeling in the past, this person thought that the ego person they were attached to, that was it. This is my shot. And now they're seeing, wait, I've got lots of opportunities. I've got a lot going on for me. I have choices. I've been attached to something that might be an illusion, maybe a delusion. Feels like a powerful shift. I get the feeling that the High Priestess might have felt in the past more connected with the ego person, And in present energy, the high priestess energy is looking at this person who was insecure and jealous and connected with the ego person. It's like, I get the feeling like you guys could be on the same page, or I feel at some point there's been a shift for this intuitive person who felt more connected with the person with the ego, who invited them maybe into some type of deceptive relationship, or there's something inappropriate there. And the high priestess was definitely open because of some depletion going on in their life. However, now they've leveled up. And they've got boundaries and truth. They're clear-minded. Boy, wow. Yeah, it feels like it doesn't feel like they're in connection, they're in communication. But if there were to be communication, the who's with who, what side people are on, the vibrations have shifted enough that I think it would be a very different type of energy. It just, again, the person with the ego, they're just really stuck. It's like an arrested development, emotional immaturity. They're actually very insecure. The person who was insecure and jealous that was with the ego person, they just gave and gave and gave to that connection, which made them feel insecure, but they gave and gave and gave to the ego person because really their ego was inflated, and they might come off as very secure, but they're so insecure. Oof. Okay, Sagittarius. Your higher self is in the energy of 5 of Wands, obstacles and challenges and obstacles, or obstacles and challenges. Yes. Okay. I get the feeling for all of these people, no matter who you identify as in this story, the challenge is to walk away from things that are disappointing, that it's okay to leave things when you realize that they are not emotionally fulfilled. I get the feeling ego and insecure person, that couple, that they kept staying in a very dissatisfying relationship, possibly because of finances, possibly because of how it appears to others. Maybe it's a long-term commitment, maybe it's marriage, and so they feel that they have to, I said I would in my 20s, and no matter what, I will stay in this situation because we're married. Feels like the high priestess energy was also in a position where they were so depleted that they were considering this offer. Feel like that woke them up, like, wow, I did not think that would be something I would even consider. It's not who I want to be. There's something about leaving. I'm also getting that someone, or maybe everybody in this connection, uses escapism instead of like drugs or drinking or some type of distraction so they can stay in connections way past their expiration date. The challenge, the obstacle is to give yourself permission to leave things that are no longer satisfying. After the Eight of Cups is the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. But you can't get to wish fulfillment without first Eight of Cups. You have to leave what's not working behind. Your challenge right now, Sagittarius, is temptation, the devil, distractions, getting tempted, something like what I was saying, the feels like drugs, alcohol, work, being lost in your computer, just there's something about distracting yourself from the pain and the dissatisfaction instead of just facing it. There's distracting from realizing that there's just no long-term success here. Maybe it wasn't built for lifelong. Maybe it was a connection that was only meant for a few years or a smaller amount of time. There's a lot of people in this energy that work and work without getting results. There's a lot of people that putting in a lot of work and effort into something that's very dissatisfying, and then having to lie and create distractions so you can stay in something totally dissatisfying. So the devil energy is also codependency. So we might be dealing with very codependent people. In codependent, in the original devil card, there's two people. There's the devil and then two people that have chains around their neck, chains that they could take off. So it's choosing. People are choosing to stay in a connection. And the more you stay in that connection in the original card, they're starting to sprout horns, like devil horns, because they've stayed in this energy so long. They're becoming that energy. They're becoming deceptive. They're becoming less themselves and more in the energy of codependency and temptation. They're afraid to be separate. They feel that they need each other. There's a neediness instead of choosing each other. I don't get the feeling that this couple has chosen each other for a long time. They might need each other, but they haven't chosen each other. There's just such a level of burnout from this situation. Exhaustion, burnout, it's stagnated. It's creating so much stress, trying to ignore it, trying to distract away from it. I'm surprised I don't see a tower. It feels like everybody here is working, it feels like the high priestess has moved on and grown from this. However, it feels like it's time to acknowledge the deception. It's time to acknowledge the self-deception. Acknowledge the lies that it's taken to stay in a very dissatisfying connection. Again, exhaustion. It's messed up. It's messed with everybody's confidence. Everyone's feeling overwhelmed. I'm getting the feeling that people coming into this energy can just feel, they feel confused and overwhelmed, and they can feel the heaviness. There we go. The Tower. It feels like time for a personal transformation. What's stopping this transformation is a fear of change. It feels like there's just a constant delaying of and creating more suffering. A fear of letting this relationship collapse, even though it's built on crumbling foundation. It's not stable. It feels like if this isn't addressed, there will eventually, it feels like a tower. I'm getting that, like, if you kids don't clean this up, I'll come in there and give you kind of, I mean, it feels like if the people involved in this don't decide to become enlightened, to become more conscious, to care enough about themselves, to love themselves enough to want better for themselves and for everybody here, instead of being deceptive. If they don't do this on their own, it feels like eventually there will be a tower. So, whew. All right, Sagittarius, that's your reading. I hope this was helpful. Thanks. Bye.